The Hummingbird of Joy. In a small village nestled in a valley surrounded by rolling hills and dense forests, the days were often quiet and the nights silent. The villagers, burdened by the monotony of their daily routines, had long forgotten the sound of laughter and the warmth of smiles. This was a place where joy seemed like a distant memory, and the vibrant colors of life had faded into shades of gray. The village, known as Glenbrook, was home to people who worked hard but rarely found time for delight or celebration. Children went to school, adults tended to their tasks, and elders watched the world go by, all with a sense of resignation. Happiness was like a rare bird that seldom visited their land. One chilly morning, as a faint mist hung over Glenbrook, a visitor arrived. A tiny hummingbird with feathers that shimmered in the hues of 1,000 jewels entered the village. The bird, named Harmony, possessed a unique gift. Her song was said to bring joy to anyone who heard it. As Harmony fluttered into the heart of Glenbrook, she noticed the absence of cheer. The gardens were unkempt, the streets were quiet, and the faces of the villagers were devoid of smiles. She perched on a branch of an old oak tree in the village square and began to sing. Her melody was like a gentle stream of water, soft and soothing. It danced through the air, weaving a tapestry of notes that was both beautiful and uplifting. The villagers, drawn by the enchanting song, slowly emerged from their homes and gathered in the square. Children were the first to respond to Harmony's melody. Their eyes lit up with wonder and tentative smiles began to form on their faces. They looked around as if seeing their world in a new light. The adults, too, felt a stirring in their hearts. The song seemed to lift the weight of their worries, bringing a sense of lightness they had not felt in years. The elders, who had seen many seasons come and go, listened to Harmony's song with a sense of nostalgia. It reminded them of happier times, of days when laughter filled the air and joy was a frequent guest in their village. As Harmony continued to sing, her melody grew more vibrant, filling the village square with a symphony of hope and happiness. The villagers, moved by the hummingbird's song, began to talk to one another, sharing stories and laughter. Children ran around the square, playing games and reveling in the newfound cheer. The transformation in Glenbrook was gradual but unmistakable. Flowers were tended to in the gardens, windows were opened to let in the fresh air, and the villagers started to help each other with their daily tasks. Harmony's song had ignited a spark of joy that was slowly spreading through the village. Harmony watched with delight as the village came to life. She knew that her visit to Glenbrook was not just about sharing her melody, but about awakening the villagers to the joy that lay within them. Her song was a reminder that happiness is a choice, a melody that each heart can sing in its own unique way. As the days passed, Harmony's presence in Glenbrook became a blessing that the villagers hadn't realized they had been longing for. Each morning they would gather in the village square, eagerly awaiting the hummingbird's arrival and her melodious song. Harmony, with her vibrant colors and joyful tune, became a symbol of hope and happiness in the once dreary village. The children of Glenbrook especially were captivated by Harmony. They would watch in amazement as she hovered in the air, her wings a blur of motion, and her song a cascade of cheerful notes. Inspired by her, the children started to sing along, creating their own tunes and rediscovering the simple joys of play and laughter. Among the villagers was an old baker named Mr. Gregor, who had spent years waking up before dawn to bake his bread and pastries. The routine had become a monotonous chore, and he had long lost the passion he once had for baking. But Harmony's song worked its magic on him too. One morning, after listening to her sing, Mr. Gregor found himself humming a tune as he kneaded the dough. For the first time in years, he baked a new recipe, a sweet bread filled with fruits and nuts, which he shared with the children in the square. The delight on their faces brought a genuine smile to Mr. Gregor's face, rekindling his love for baking. Similarly, Ms. Ilara, a teacher at the village school, found herself inspired by Harmony. She noticed the change in her students. They were more enthusiastic and eager to learn. Harnessing this new energy, Ms. Ilara introduced more creative ways of teaching, using songs, stories, and outdoor activities. The children's laughter and eagerness to learn filled her classroom, turning it into a lively hub of curiosity and joy. Harmony's influence reached every corner of Glenbrook. The once quiet and somber evenings were now filled with music and gatherings. Villagers who had been strangers to each other for years started coming together, sharing meals and stories under the starlit sky. Harmony's song had not only brought joy to their lives, but had also woven a thread of community and togetherness. One evening, as Harmony perched on her usual branch in the oak tree, she noticed something different. The villagers had organized a small festival in the square. There were colorful lanterns hanging from the trees, tables laden with food prepared by the villagers, and a small stage where children were performing skits and songs they had created. The festival was a celebration of the newfound happiness in Glenbrook, a tribute to the hummingbird who had sparked this transformation. Harmony watched, her heart swelling with pride. She had not only brought a change to Glenbrook, but had also helped its people discover the joy within themselves. As the night progressed, the villagers invited Harmony to join the celebration. They thanked her for the gift of her song, for reminding them of the beauty and joy in life. Harmony fluttered above the crowd, her song blending with the laughter and music of the festival, creating a melody that resonated with hope and happiness. The festival in Glenbrook marked a turning point for the village. Harmony's song had not only lifted their spirits, but also reminded them of the power of community and shared joy. In the following days, the villagers, inspired by the hummingbird's influence, began to initiate projects to further enhance the beauty and warmth of their home. One significant change was in the village square, which transformed into a lively hub of activity and creativity. The villagers planted flowers and set up benches and fountains, turning it into a welcoming place for gatherings and relaxation. Artisans and craftsmen started displaying their work, adding to the vibrancy of the area. The square, once a place of mere passage, had become the heart of the village. Among the villagers was a young artist named Clara. Inspired by Harmony, she started painting again, something she hadn't done since she was a child. Her artworks, filled with colors and inspired by the beauty of the hummingbird and the rejuvenated village, were displayed in the square, bringing even more life to the area. Clara's paintings were a celebration of Glenbrook's transformation, a visual representation of the joy that had enveloped the village. Another villager, an elderly gentleman named Mr. Hawthorne, who had spent years tending to his garden in solitude, opened up his garden for everyone to enjoy. His garden was a marvel, full of blooming flowers, aromatic herbs, and towering trees. It became a place where people could come together, learn about gardening, and enjoy the tranquility of nature. As for the children, they found a new playground in the open spaces of the village. They played games, told stories, and even put on small plays and concerts, their laughter and voices bringing a youthful energy to Glenbrook. Harmony watched all of these developments with delight. She realized that her song was merely the catalyst for a much greater change. The villagers had found happiness not just in her melody, but in the connections they formed with each other, in the sharing of their talents and passions, and in the collective effort to make their village a better place. One day, Harmony felt a gentle call to continue her journey. She realized that her time in Glenbrook was coming to an end. The village no longer needed her song to maintain its joy. The villagers had learned to create their own music, their own happiness. With a mix of sadness and pride, Harmony decided that it was time to spread her joy to other places. The night before her departure, the villagers organized a farewell celebration for Harmony. They gathered in the village square, now a symbol of their unity and joy. The festival was filled with music, dancing, and expressions of gratitude for the hummingbird who had changed their lives. As Harmony fluttered above the crowd, she could see the impact of her presence in every smile, every dance, and every piece of artwork. Glenbrook had rediscovered its joy, and in doing so had found a new purpose and vitality. Harmony's heart was full, knowing she had played a part in this transformation. On the morning of her departure, Harmony awoke to a village transformed. Glenbrook was no longer the somber place it had once been. It was now a tapestry of joy, creativity, and community spirit. As the villagers gathered to bid her farewell, Harmony felt a deep sense of accomplishment and love. The mayor of Glenbrook, Mr. Thomas, stepped forward. He thanked Harmony for the incredible gift she had given them. "You arrived when we had forgotten the songs of joy," he said. "You leave us with a chorus of happiness in our hearts. Thank you, Harmony, for reminding us of the beauty in life and in each other." Children presented Harmony with drawings and small crafts they had made, each a token of their gratitude. The air was filled with a bittersweet feeling, a mix of sadness for the hummingbird's departure and gratitude for the lasting change she had brought. As Harmony prepared to take flight, she looked at the faces of the people of Glenbrook. She saw hope, happiness, and a newfound zest for life. She knew that while she was leaving, the melody of joy she had started would continue to resonate in their hearts and actions. With a final melodious trill, Harmony spread her wings. As she soared into the sky, a rainbow appeared, arching over Glenbrook. It was as if nature itself was celebrating the transformation of the village and bidding farewell to the little hummingbird who had brought so much joy. In the days and years that followed, Glenbrook continued to flourish. The village square remained the heart of the community, a place of constant laughter, sharing, and creativity. Clara's paintings, inspired by Harmony, became a symbol of the village's renaissance. Mr. Hawthorne's garden grew into a communal space for all to enjoy, symbolizing the growth and nurturing that had taken place in every heart. The story of Harmony the hummingbird became a cherished tale in Glenbrook, passed down from generation to generation. It was a story of how a small visitor with a joyful song could inspire a whole community to find happiness within themselves and in each other. As for Harmony, she continued her journey, spreading joy to other places, other people. Her song, a melody of positivity and hope, left a trail of happiness wherever she went. She became a legend, a symbol of the transformative power of joy and the ripple effect it could have on the world. In Glenbrook, every time a hummingbird was spotted, the villagers would remember Harmony and the lessons she had taught them. They remembered that happiness is a song that everyone can sing, a melody that can change lives, and a gift that grows when shared. The legacy of Harmony's melody lived on in Glenbrook, a harmonious tune echoing through the streets, in the homes, and in the hearts of all who lived there. It was a reminder that even the smallest creature could bring about the greatest change, and that joy, once ignited, knows no bounds.